This is macOS Ken.
Odd news for Apple from the EU. That YouTube problem isn't just you, and forever ends for a few Sega iOS games. It is Friday, the 20th of June, 2025. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from macOS Ken. Brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Insta360's new X5. Get an invisible selfie stick when you buy an X5 standard bundle at store.insta360.com with code macOSCAN. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSCAN. A bit of a confusing story to start us off from the European Union. The site Euronews says the European Commission will not impose immediate financial penalties against Apple if it misses a deadline on Digital Markets Act compliance. In April, a piece from 9 to 5 Mac said Apple was fined 500 million euros, roughly $570 million US, over App Store anti-steering policies that ran afoul of the DMA. The Commission gave Apple 60 days to bring its platform into compliance, a countdown that ends next Thursday, the 26th of June. Time for Apple to get out the checkbook? Well, maybe. An EU spokesperson has indicated to Euronews that the Cupertino company will not face sanctions immediately for failure to meet obligations under the EU's digital rulebook. According to the spokesperson, according to the report, financial penalties will not be applied automatically, but only after the Commission conducts a preliminary analysis and shares its findings with Apple as part of an ongoing exchange process. The part that I find confusing, does that mean Apple doesn't have to pay the 500 million euro fine already imposed? Or is it still on the hook for that, with the European Commission holding off on additional fines until the current situation is assessed? It's kind of a head-scratcher. While the EC slow-walking penalties may be good news for Apple, guess what? EU still can't have nice things. macOS 26 Tahoe is set to bring live activities to the Mac this fall. While EU members will get the new operating system, they will not get live activities on the Mac, according to a piece from my Download blog. Apple didn't make the news official, according to the report, but the company has scrubbed all mention of the live activities feature from its product pages, marketing materials, and the macOS Tahoe 26 press releases in European Union member states such as Germany, France, and Italy. What the company has made official, EU countries will still not get iPhone mirroring either. The company is said to have confirmed that with the French technology blog Numerama. That actually makes the lack of live activities make sense. iDownload blog points out that macOS Tahoe actually shows live activities from a nearby iPhone, even if it's on iOS 18, not iOS 26, and that clicking a live activity in the macOS menu bar opens the app in iPhone mirroring to show more information. You apparently can't have one without the other. As for why the EU can't have iPhone mirroring, the report says Apple has expressed concern that the EU's interoperability requirements may force it to allow Android mirroring and provide access to the iPhone mirroring technology to any third parties that request it. Looks like macOS Tahoe will bring the end of another era with it, one most of us have likely not considered in quite a while. A piece from Mac Rumors cites a couple of posts that say support for FireWire 400 and FireWire 800 data transfer standards is missing from macOS 26. Unlike on macOS Sequoia and earlier versions, the piece says the first macOS Tahoe beta does not include a FireWire section in the System Settings app. Time to freak out? Tough to say. Right now we're talking about the first developer beta of an operating system that won't see final release until sometime this fall. That leaves plenty of time for FireWire support to come back. That said, Apple started moving away from FireWire to USB for data transfer 22 years ago. Makes the standard very outdated, in Mac Rumors' words. Still, it will be fingers crossed for some, no doubt. If the support stays gone, the first few iPod models and old external storage drives that rely on FireWire will not be able to be synced or mounted on a Mac running macOS 26. If the YouTube app on your iThings keeps crashing, you'll want to turn it off and turn it on again, but harder. Over the last week, Cult of Mac says several YouTube users on mobile and iPad noticed the app randomly crashing on their devices. This affected both Android and iPhone users. In some case, while the app did not crash, it became unresponsive to touch. It's apparently not a problem for everybody. I haven't had a problem with it, and I use YouTube on both my iPhone and my iPad fairly frequently. It's the best place to watch MST3K Werewolf. That said, the piece says YouTube owner Google acknowledged the problem earlier this week. It provided a temporary workaround until it could find a proper solution, which involved deleting the app, restarting your phone, and re-downloading the YouTube app. Having moved past the temporary fix, the cult says YouTube has a permanent one. If the app is still crashing on your iPhone, and I'm guessing iPad, you'll want to delete the app, restart your device, and re-download the app. A word of warning on that course of action. If you're a YouTube Premium subscriber, Cult of Mac says deleting the app will remove all of your downloaded videos. Those will have to be downloaded again, which is kind of a pain. Of course, if you can't watch them because of all the crashing, what good are the downloaded videos? Also, before you delete and reinstall, you might try making sure you have the latest version of the application running. I can't tell if that's a Google idea or a Cult of Mac idea, but might provide the fix you need. More news in a moment, but first a word from today's sponsor, Insta360, and their new 360-degree camera, X5. Out for a couple of months now, X5 comes with a ton of improvements over previous models. It features 8K 360-degree video and enhanced low light performance for all-angle shooting, day or night. Larger sensors deliver 8K video with amazing clarity, including night shooting that yields unprecedented detail. The lenses are made from a tougher optical glass, giving them superior impact resistance. There's a new built-in wind guard and an upgraded algorithm for consistently clear audio. It's waterproof down to 49 feet, and it's got a 3-hour battery life. This is Insta360's most durable 360-degree camera yet. And it is waiting for you. Head to store.insta360.com to see what they have and use code macOSKen for a free 45-inch selfie stick with your X5 standard bundle purchase. The pull disappears from 360-degree footage, leaving people to wonder how you get the shots you got. It's a $24.99 value, but it is free for the first 30 people who go to store.insta360.com and buy an X5 standard bundle with code macOSKen. Shoot every angle at once. Get your free invisible selfie stick when you buy an X5 standard bundle with code macOSKen. Don't forget that code macOSKen at store.insta360.com. Several Sega Forever games seem to be going away. Probably wasn't the best name for them then, was it? CNET says would-be players can get 9 retro Sega games for free right now on iOS and Android. You'll want to act fast though. The piece says support for the games will be discontinued soon. While they will keep working once they lose support, the game's publisher and unpublisher, it turns out, will likely pull the titles off the various app stores the way it did such retro titles as Altered Beast Classic and The Revenge of Shinobi Classic. Games to get while the getting's good include Crazy Taxi Classic, Golden Axe Classic, Shining Force Classic, Sonic CD Classic, Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2, Streets of Rage Classic, Streets of Rage 2 Classic, Super Monkey Ball, Sakura, and Virtua Tennis Challenge. Word of a promo for a movie everybody's expected to see on a device almost nobody owns. 9to5Mac says Apple has added to its range of Apple Immersive content on Apple Vision Pro with a new Hot Lap Immersive installment. Trying to think of an appropriate joke, but I can't, so make up your own. According to the report, the new immersive title allows the headset wearer to experience the thrills of racing at high speed, with movie star Brad Pitt in the racing seat taking a test drive around a track. Like all Apple immersive content, it is recorded in a special 180-degree video format at 8K resolution to give full advantage of the Vision Pro's technical prowess. Also, it promotes this little art film Apple's excited about. Can't think of the name of it, maybe it says it in the short. Anyway, Hot Lap Immersive is available in the TV app on Apple Vision Pro, and again, it's about a race car. Set your expectations accordingly. And finally today, an award for Apple that has been 10 years in the making. A piece from Adweek says Apple's decade-old Shot on iPhone campaign won the Grand Prix for creative effectiveness at Cannes Lions on Thursday. The piece says the campaign by TBWA Media Arts Lab uses a ridiculously simple idea, as Apple's marketing leader Tor Myron previously called it, to position the iPhone as the only tool needed to shoot something great. Not just for Instagram anymore. Adweek says the tagline is now part of the vernacular for photographers and videographers. Finally, recognition for Apple and iPhone. This week on the checklist, brought to you by Secure Mac, using two-factor authentication is a great idea. Using SMS for two-factor authentication is about the worst way you can do it. We'll tell you why. Plus, plot twist for 23andMe. You may think you know the latest, but do you? Listen in and find out on checklist number 428. Look for it today at securemac.com/checklist or wherever you get podcasts. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Insta360's new X5. Get an invisible selfie stick when you buy an X5 standard bundle at store.insta360.com with code macOS Ken. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSCan. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can find me on Mastodon, macOSCan at mastodon.social. You can also send me an email, info@macosken.com. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.